Hello and welcome from MSSC to our tutorial on stitching. On today's tech short we will be attaching two SmartJet Max printers onto a Max stitching plate. Then, we're going to attach MSSC's part number 80875 to the SmartJet Duo controller using the DB15 connection port. Part number 80875 is a photoelectric ion rotary encoder with a DB15 connector. This part is crucial for accurately stitching the output from these printheads. After that, we will utilize the software on the SmartJet Duo controller to adjust the timing of the printers. This setup effectively doubles the printable area from 1 inch to 2 inches. With the correct timing, our goal is to make the two prints appear as one seamless image. As we get started, please take notice of the white area behind the word tech and the gray area behind the word short. These white and gray spaces behind these words represent the printable area of each print head. Everything in the white area will be printed by head 1 and the gray area will be printed by head 2. You might have noticed that our MSSC logo doesn't display the two distinct printable areas behind the image. That's because the logo was imported as a JPEG, which doesn't support transparency, and consequently covers the gray background. This will not affect the printing process. Since we are using 1-inch printheads, we will need to open the designer and load the 1-inch stitching template. Once you are in the designer, please click the folder icon to reveal the saved templates on your controller. Since we are using the Max printhead, we will choose the 1-inch stitching template. Please select and proceed. Click the red Home button to return to the home screen. Now that we are back at the home screen, let's take a look at the settings. Please click the gear icon to proceed to the settings menu. Once you're in the settings screen, find the second icon down on the left side, which features the screwdriver and wrench. Click on this icon to access the system settings. We'll come back to the head settings later in this video to adjust the stitching, but for now, let's focus on enabling stitching and ensuring we have the correct settings for success. If you find yourself unable to toggle the stitching button, double-check that you've selected the correct options. Ensure that sensor is highlighted in blue under the print mode category. Remember, stitching can only be enabled when sensor is selected. It won't be available if you're in continuous print mode. It is also a good time to ensure that the encoder is set to external and also highlighted in blue. X out to return to the home screen. Now we are ready to print the 1-inch stitching template and record the results into settings under the head settings. Let's take a look at the prints I ran from the 1-inch stitching template and determine the information needed to achieve a well-stitched print. First, observe the distance between the two black arrows, which represent the 0 points on the two rulers in the illustration. The distance between these arrows measures 28 millimeters. This 28 mm measurement will be inputted into the printhead alignment field under the stitching category for head 2. We'll identify where to locate that category shortly, but for now, let's look at the illustration for a second item known as printhead overlap. This is an illustration of printhead overlap and the key items to notice while viewing your printed templates. These lines are the tops of each printhead. The number 8 represents all the nozzles from printhead 1 that are overlapping printhead 2. Each small black dash represents one overlapping nozzle. To adjust the stitch properly, navigate to the settings menu and click the top left icon to access the head settings. In settings, under head settings, please find the printhead adjustment field for printhead number 2. Now enter the 28 mm measurement we observed earlier into the printhead adjustment field. This was the distance between the two black triangles on the stitching template rulers we looked at earlier. Now we are going to enter 8 into the stitch Y field in the head settings by clicking here. We've now gone over the basics of stitching using an illustration. Next, I'll showcase a few printed examples to offer a more practical understanding. This will give you a clearer picture of the process through real-life examples. It's essential to see how actual printhead adjustments, along with fine-tuning the Y-stitch, play crucial roles in achieving near-perfect alignment when stitching an image. Now let's take a look at my stitched 1-inch stitching template. It's directly printed from the template we've been referring to in this tutorial. For the printhead alignment field in the head settings, I input 7.59 mm, and for the stitch Y setting, I chose 5. Notice the precise alignment of the black arrows and the 0 point on the ruler, it's nearly perfect. Moreover, observe how selecting a stitch of 5 seamlessly positions the top of printhead 2 directly under the ruler from printhead 1. After observing a finely stitched template ruler, you might be curious about how the printhead alignment setting precisely adjusts the image. We've seen that a setting of 7.59 produced excellent stitching results. Now, let's explore how adjusting this setting, say to 25 mm or 31 mm, influences the movement of the ruler for head 2. If I set the printhead alignment at 25 mm, the ruler shifts to the right of center. On the other hand, adjusting the alignment to 31 mm moves the ruler left of center. Understanding these variations is crucial as they directly impact the results and timing in the stitching processes. Wrapping up, let me show you the capabilities of 6 1-inch printheads. Utilizing the SmartJet hex controller, we can seamlessly operate up to 6 printheads, resulting in a perfectly stitched 6-inch logo. I hope you have found this tutorial informative and as always, happy printing! From MSSC.